Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop. You look unfortified. Getting enough emulsifiers in
Mind
your
your
diet?
own business interests.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for Zeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers. You're free to pass, stranger.
Outsider, prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Well, I speak of the Crabbles, of course. You must have spied those nefarious Crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army! You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble!
Stay true, outsider.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster. Show them what you got, Quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Best look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself.
All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable. Request not understood.
It only understands the words I've added to its databanks. You wouldn't believe how many words there are for buying and selling. Guess I missed peruse. Look, for now, just use the phrase initiate commerce. It's what I used during the initial testing.
Initiating commerce.
See you soon, I hope.
So, Red Cloak concludes another successful and inspiring mission, turning enemies into neighbors, showing Turncloaks the error of their calculations.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. What happens to any member of the Protectorate who falls short of fulfilling their lifelong oaths of service? Execution for the unworthy, and mental refreshment for the salvageable and the stalwart. Dereliction of duty is a heavy offense, and no lesser sentence will fit the crime. I hold myself to the highest standard, but this Zeranium leak, It threatens all that I hold dear. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the Zeranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Auntie's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Zeranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. Had I the resources, I would have sent wave after wave of engineers into the facility until one of them flipped. I'm glad that spectacle didn't. Anyway, Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me. What happened? I hold myself to the highest standard. But this Zeranium leak. Speak with Delphin. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give. What else would disrupt? Zeranium wreaks further damage soon occurred. True, the facility was disrupted, but it was not undone. The Protectorate saw to that. When disorder looms its ugly head, the Protectorate relies on its people to maintain and restore that order. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I need that gas leak fixed. Otherwise, my automechs might as well be paperweights. While I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, that assurance does not alleviate the grim tidings felt in the pit of my bowels. Loyalty and instinct run hand in hand. I'm a Protectorate man, after all. So why should I be ill at ease, despite our stalwart chain of command and dependable kin at the helm? No matter. My unease is nothing when measured against the strength of the Protectorate. This facility's purpose is the maintenance of automechanicals. When the war kicked off, it became a military asset, and I am its second steward. The old staff should have laid down their lives to repel Auntie's choice. For their failure of loyalty and grit, they were punished, and rightly so. Now, their burden is mine, but I won't allow my unit to suffer the same fate.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station. But I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Zeranium corrupted Automechs, open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. Oh is right. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. Under the Marshal's office, she'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit enjoyed our banter.
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Outsider? Oh, yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshall sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good. Wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Zeranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor.
Outsider?
Stay true, outsider.
the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander. Let me know when you need a distraction.
Please seek treatment for bodily trauma.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Advise us healing yourself. Now. This unit.
Yes. Let's have a look at you. No signs of Zeranium exposure, or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Zeranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from Zeranium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard. Zeranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy, but once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Zeranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined Zeranium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Zeranium crystals to explode. Zeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Zeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Well, look who it is. Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
Not sure we should get any closer.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense. Apologies, I must concentrate on my work. Maybe one of the others can help you.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Fortifying immediate vitals.
Appreciate a little help, Commander.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? Until a more convenient date and time.
What can I do for you this time?
Warning. Agent. Irreparable damage to lungs imminent. Exit gaseous cloud immediately.
Run into trouble? No, don't answer. The indications are all too clear. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zeranium? Another assistant. Should have guessed. I suppose I should be grateful for all the data she sends my way, but I do wish Dell would think more of her collaborators' well-being. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced Zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise.
Were you successful? I have tests that can be started immediately if so. What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's Choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
What can I do for you this time? I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to Zeranium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox Relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have.
First the attack,
Defend it.
then there's Zeranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
A right shifty looking individual, if you ask me.
Commencing combat-related activities.
Insurgent has disappeared. You can't fight the gentleman. Target eliminated.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter. I'm the one you need to worry about. Yeah.
First the attack, then the Zeranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
What can I do for you this time? At last, the tide is shifting. Today, we fix our automechanicals. Tomorrow, we push the unprincipled interlopers of Auntie's choice into the sea. You've done us a great service, stranger, and I would see your efforts rewarded. Alas, we don't have much to offer since our supplies are so low. I hope these bits will suffice. We confiscated them from the corpses of the scouts who attempted to infiltrate this facility a few weeks back. It carries the invaders' taint, but it should spend just the same. Perhaps you're right. Accept this with my gratitude. Now I can show our chief mechanist that he was wrong, and a little Zeranium poisoning won't do those automechs any harm.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I ought to be charging for information. This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern
Careful,
Forward Operating
friend.
Base.
Reckon there might be a few loose raptidons wandering around. Note that Auntie's choice ain't. Careful, friend. Reckon there might be a few loose raptidons wandering around. Note that Auntie's choice ain't liable for raptidon-based injuries.
No.
Unauthorized entry into an Arbiter training facility is likely to result in violent arbitration.
You hear that? Sounds like a Dragoon tromping about. I don't fancy making its acquaintance.
recommendations on discovering a panel agent. This unit recommends pushing all the buttons.
Arbiter Nebs, the words are a song to my ears. This, no doubt, is the opportunity I have long awaited. These hapless recruits arrived just before the invasion. No sooner had they set down their bags than their instructors were called to the war front. I read the fear, the uncertainty in their faces. And I knew, as this outpost's primary practice target replacement technician, I alone could teach them. They see me as their leader, their arbiter. I will not fail. Should the invasion breach our defenses, I will stand proudly at the vanguard, shoot to kill, and lead them to victory.
Alert. Hostile.
Prudence dictates, eye your neighbors carefully. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating.
Brought to you by Auntie's Choice Immunosol. Gone wrong. I'm freezing my assets up on Cloister, a long-forsaken snowball orbiting Elysium. Everyone knows Cloister is home to the computronic powerhouse known as the Ark. That ain't the only problem driver here. The Omen provides
Thanks for not crushing my plants, friend. I'm the Senior Principal Chief Director of Natural Studies, Acquisitions, and Monetization on Paradise Island. But call me Betsy. I'm always out looking for exciting new plants, rocks, and critters, but you can likely puzzle that out on your own. Say, you ain't looking for a job, are you? It's easy. Just need to confirm reported locations of a few rare and highly valuable plants. You can keep anything you find. Well, you got me grinning to split my noggin clean in two. But enough of that. To business. I got a stack of reports, but since we're not supposed to be riling things up with the Protectorate right now, I can't go investigate them myself. It might be seen as aggressive. But since you're an unaffiliated freelancer, you could handle this task no problem. Just go to these places and verify if the resource is there or not, and report back to me. Friend, you and I are about to become very wealthy. First up, I need you to find a beautiful flowering plant called Heartless Lephoria. It can be found across Arcadia. More specifically, it's typically found near Zeranium, so it's spread along with the Protectorate civilization, since their technology is mostly powered by Zeranium. Extremely toxic and fairly volatile, but it's a right good source of energy if you know how to handle the stuff. Like I said, most Protectorate technology runs on it. You'll know it if you see it. It's black and silver, and it sort of hangs in the air on account of it being the same density. Don't go near it. Even a full helmet won't help you. Straight to it then. I got 2 reports so far. One near the Automech Repair Center in the southeast corner of the island. The second is to the north of here and a little east of the bridge. And again, friend, anything you find is yours. I don't want to get audited for unapproved stock. Just need someone to put lamps on those spots and verify them for me.
We did it! Checked off the final skill building task. Scavenge a seaworthy raft, then set a course for promotion. If only we had a bottle of Spectrum Red to christen the thing.
Don't think you want to hit that floating rubbish pile with any bottles.
Pipe down, Cobb. I have every confidence in my handmade vessel. Sleek, sturdy, reasonably buoyant, perfect execution. Assembled with no help from you, I might add.
For the last time, I have indigestion.
Uh-huh. Sooner we reach the northern tip of the northern island, the sooner we get our promotions. Help me get there, Cobb, and law as my witness, I'll make you my assistant VP.
Ooh, pinch me.
This is Sanitation Specialist Cutshaw, soon-to-be graduate of the Promotion Acceleration Program, shoving off for our final destination.
I mean, this whole capitalism thing isn't so dreadful after all. It even allowed me a choice between fishing and sanitary engineering.
That's far more freedom than we were ever offered while living under the Protectorate.
Also, brace yourself for this. Can you believe we receive pay, that is to say, monetary remuneration for our work?
What a novel concept. And we receive 2 rest days a year, which are also paid? We'll be compensated for doing literally nothing? I believe it's called a vacation.
I know! So exciting! And next week, we're to be receiving an audit. Truthfully, I haven't the faintest inkling what an audit is, but it sure sounds exciting. Or possibly delicious.
No.
Here to do some fishing?
Hello. You must be a new, co-worker. No. My mistake. You're obviously just passing through.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded.
Consider me uplifted. Let's see what's next. Here's a little number to get your feet tapping and your mind meditating on the perfection of Protectorate society.
Vast quantities of organic decomposition detected. Area may be hazardous to living life forms. Proceed with caution.
You're back, and in one piece! I assume you have good news and haven't forgotten where you were going or what you were supposed to be doing? Haha! I was hoping for at least one, but both at once? Exceptional! None of my lab assistants are ever this efficient. And since you're so good at this, I have another job for you. There's a type of rare mineral called ferrochromium. It's yellowish in color and typically forms in rocky, mountainous areas or caverns. Our data points to the east coast of the island, the far southwest, and just this side of the ravine, almost straight north of here. Same rules as before. You keep what you find. You were born for this! Oh, this is so exciting. My favorite new scout! Did you find the ferrochromium deposits? Good work! Knew I could bank my bits on you. Once you're finished, I'll put in claim paperwork on the lot.
Why hunt for this DeVries person? You both work for the same outfit. Just wait for the next company party and chat awkwardly like civilized dysfunctional colleagues.